I have thought often of the Margaret Thatcher quote. The problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money. If anything, my friends, it seems that you eventually need a socialist to clean up the mess.
What gets me when I see him talk are the idiots standing behind him. You know, one idiot you can look beyond. But when you see a crowd standing behind him and you think to yourself, do you have any idea what he just said? And I would venture to say the people behind him would have no clue what he just said. He was talking about Margaret Thatcher and what she thought about socialism. And when she thought about socialism, you heard it many times. The problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money. And what was his response? Well, then you call the socialist to clean it up. Clean what up? If you just watched Lee Zeldin, Chris Wright, Doug Burgum, and a union leader talking about we're going to make some money, we're going to see some opportunity, we're going to make New York great again. Yet on the other side, you're going to see this guy, and you got to believe in your mind, it can't get any more absurd under these left-wing loons. I mean, hold on to your wallets because the circus has officially rolled into town and it wants to charge you $30 million for one grocery store that won't even open for over a year. Let me say that again. He wants to charge New Yorkers $30 million to open up a government-owned grocery store. And it's also going to, in addition to costing $30 million, it's going to take me 2 years to get it open. That is what this socialist mayor, Zoran the Great Mamdani, the Ugandan-born wonder boy, who's never run anything so much as a lemonade stand, and now it's showing. Because even the people in New York, like $30 million. And here's the best part. He's not building anything. It's not like he's building a giant center. It's an abandoned building already owned by the city. So the structure is still there. They're just talking about painting it and sprucing it up and bringing in food. Let that sink in. $30 million for a supermarket that's been vacant in East Harlem at some old market called La Camarita. I don't even know. I don't speak Spanish. Don't get mad at me. Beth, don't yell at me. It's called La Marqueta. You ever notice how they'll be talking English and then they get to the Spanish word, La Marqueta? Huh? What'd you just say? Oh, we're opening up a supermarket in La Marqueta. La what? We're opening a supermarket where we're going to be doing stuff with food in La Marqueta. It's like all of a sudden they get to that part in the sentence, like it just goes crazy. But anyway, if you lived in New York, it's going to cost you $30 million. And it won't open for, basically 2 years.
Mamdani moving ahead with his plan to open government-run grocery stores, announcing the first of 5 sites will be up and running next year. Fox Business correspondent Madison Allworth reports live from our New York City newsroom. A lot of people are saying it takes a year to open a grocery store.
Everybody said that. Everybody who's ever worked grocery store. What do we got to put there? Well, we got to have lights. We got to have, power and a floor and shelves and a few decorations. $30 million, huh? $30 million. $30 million to stock some shelves and ring up a few cans of beans in the greatest city on earth. This is what we're talking about. What a country. What a country.
And a lot of money, too, John. This first store is going to cost $30 million. That's nearly half of the $70 million budget that Mayor Mamdani has proposed for all 5 city-run grocery stores.
Okay, hold on. Because they talk so fast, I don't know if it sinks in. First and foremost, he got a $70 million budget to open 5 stores. but he's going to spend $30 million on the flagship, which means only going to have $40 million left for all of our other stores. So if you can open the other stores for like $10 million each, why are you spending $30 million on this one? I don't know if any of you have ever tried to open your own business. I have. Many of you may have. Private enterprise, real world capitalism. That's how America actually works. Have you ever tried to borrow money, get investors, put together a business plan? What do you think would happen if you went to some partners and said, hey, listen, I got this great idea. Okay, talk to me. Talk to me what you got. I'm going to take that empty building over there. I'm going to renovate it. And I'm going to open a grocery store for the neighborhood. Okay, sounds viable. I can do the study. I can see how many people live here. I can understand how many customers you have. Got it. Okay. So, what's it going to take? What's your business plan say, Barry, that it's going to take? 30 million. Get out. Get out my office. You by telling people you're spending $30 million on a grocery store, you're telling people you have no idea what the hell you're doing. None.
He announced this first one last night at his 101st day celebration. The store is going to be located in East Harlem in La Marqueta, and the plan is for it to be open next year.
We are building a brand new store on city-owned land currently sitting empty in East Harlem. A neighborhood where nearly 40% of households receive public assistance or SNAP in the past year.
Maybe that's your problem. You're catering to a disease. 40% of the people are on frickin' food stamps. That's the problem you need to solve. Hey, I understand you're on food stamps. Let me get you a place by the house to make it even more comfortable for you to have to use your food stamps. You just come to the city store. We're not even looking to make a profit, obviously. And we'll just keep you 40% right where you people are. Beholden to daddy. As soon as I heard that and I see the people, I'm like, wait a second. Have your minds gone completely devoid of any inspiration? That you're cheering? You're actually happy that 40% of the people that are going to be your customers are on food stamps? That's your solution? They're already on food stamps. Let's just get them some more cheap food. How about the solution is get these people off of food stamps? Go have them work on the gas line with Lee Zeldin. Get their asses off the couch. That should be what you're working on, not just giving people who aren't producing another reason not to produce. It is insulting. And yet, oh, fantastic. These are the people that sit in a cage and want to be fed. These people do not want to hunt. The desire and innate feeling to do something productive has been removed from these people. They're completely societal's drudges. They don't want to produce anything. And all he's doing is saying, well, you know what? Let me enable these people. We just keep them right where they are and it'll be all right. They'll keep voting for me because, they get everything for free. Because if you're getting food stamps, you're probably getting welfare as well. And now we'll give them, a free food grocery store. It's insulting, offensive to even them if they had minds to understand.
Because it's on city-owned land, they will not have to pay rent on the property. Mamdani pointed out that grocery prices in the city have increased since the pandemic, but he failed to point out how city-run grocers in other cities have failed to actually help residents. Similar efforts in places like Kansas City have struggled to stay afloat despite millions in taxpayer dollars. Sun Fresh Market permanently closed this August after suffering from high crime, empty shelves, and unsustainable losses. So despite over...
Do you know why? because you're catering to people who don't have the mindset to even care what they're doing. They're sitting home watching old Oprah episodes, getting their food given to them, probably got the Obama phone, but you haven't changed their mentality. So they're going to steal, they're going to fight, they're going to do drugs, they're going to do all the things that 40%ers like that would do. And so now you've got a business plan that has already been proven to not work.
$17 million in taxpayer investments since 2016, the project failed to provide a stable food source. But it's full steam ahead for city-owned grocery stores here in the Big Apple. Mamdani promised on the campaign trail the grocery stores will be available in each borough. He says that will be accomplished by the end of his term. John?
Well, at a year to open every one of them, and he wants to open that many, I'm not quite sure if he can do that.
Oh, my God. Excuse me. Oh, my gosh. That's not good. Anybody with a business mind is like, I'm watching a freaking nightmare. Trump must sit back and go, my New York, my poor New York. Oh my gosh, what is this guy doing? Incredible.
See, Madison, thanks very much. Now over to Sandra.
It's clear this Sunfresh at 31st and Prospect is struggling. This is the first section people see when they come in. There's barely any produce.
This is the store in Kansas City that the lady on Fox just referenced. And so I found this clip, and she's walking through the actual store that just had to get shut down. It's going to be the model for what Mamdani is doing.
All of the coolers and shelves around the store look the same way, empty. So shoppers have been asking us, if the store isn't closing, then where's all the food?
A rotten smell comes through the door, and anywhere you turn, you'll see products that need to be restocked. No hot food or deli.
I watch people walk in and walk out.
I don't mean to laugh because I feel bad for these people. They thought they were electing somebody who was really going to help them. And this lady goes, you walk in here and the rotting smell makes you turn around and run. It stinks so bad. There's nothing in the aisles. It's not going to work. All he had to do was follow the same business model, or at least go to Kansas City. Hey, let's see how it's not working here. Where's all your stuff? I ain't got no stuff. Well how are you we're going to close. It doesn't work.
The grocery store has received financial assistance from the city, but has been unable to keep those shelves stocked in an area that in the past has often been referred to as a food desert.
I'll tell you what, I will live in a lot of places. Robin will tell you, I'll live just about anywhere. The one place I don't want to live is in a place called a food desert. I don't want to see tumbleweed. I got to eat, okay? You look at me. I like my groceries. Robin keeps me on a good diet, but I got to eat. I don't want to live in a food desert. That's insane.
Around here, a good thing don't last too long.
And it will impact a lot of people and a lot of families.
The city owns the Linwood Shopping Center. A nonprofit operates the grocery store.
The director of Uptown Grand.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't be laughing at this misfortune, but I can tell you, and I know my wife, and her foot with her hiking boots would be up my rear end if we lived in a food desert. And so I want to know what kind of person, what kind of man wants to live in a place where it's considered a food desert. How did they emasculate you and clip your nuts to the point where you're like, honey, yeah, well, they're about to, there's some stuff on the shelves. I know it stinks in here, but can we get some Cheetos or something? These people have given up on life.
Central Kerry King, who is here with us. Now, we are all here at La Marqueta
we're here with Fred and Joey at La Marqueta, and he's not even Spanish. I don't know if there's some card that goes out and says you got to speak like that, but we're here at the store today. Why do we need to do that? I saw the funniest skit on Saturday Night Live where they did that. And every time they got to a Spanish word, they rolled their L's and their R's and came in. Drives me crazy. Makes me want to play the Andrew Dice Clay. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't speak the language, get the...
Same site where 92 years ago, Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia stood. And he was battling a cold in the pouring rain to break down on this very institution of La Marqueta. A city-owned public market opened 2 years later in 1936. It cut overhead for pushcart vendors and lowered consumer costs.
Who wants to tell him what was going on in 1936? Just say it. He's comparing New York City to the Great Depression. He's using that as his statement, and nobody behind it, none of his supporters like, hey, Zorhan the Great here, I don't even think you want to be talking about something from 1936. Might not be the best example you want to use right now. Just saying.
LaGuardia said it was, quote, an answer to those who said the unemployed had been forgotten. The New York Times described it succinctly. City tries experiment. New York City, it is time for a grand experiment once again.
It's because he's going to lead you to the other side of that grand experiment in 1936. He's going to put y'all not back in chains, back into the Great Depression. So you might as well follow what, LaGuardia did back then when LaGuardia opened these community grocery stores, because it was all you had. Look where the puck is going here. The dude is quoting something from the Great Depression almost 100 years ago and saying, it's going to be great now.
Just as LaGuardia used government to respond to the challenges of the Great Depression, we will use government to respond to rising prices and unaffordable groceries.
I feel like I'm watching a Saturday Night Live skit. He's comparing New York City, the Big Apple, the biggest city in our country with much prosperity in certain areas, to the Great Depression. If this guy isn't out of touch, I don't know what is. If liberals are thinking this way, we'll just make it like it was back in 1930s. We can roll this out in city after city. We can get 40 to 50% of the people on food stamps, and we'll have Great Depression era stores. What do you guys think? Oh, that's fantastic. Who the hell thought this was a good idea? Who are these morons all standing behind him supporting this idea when everybody else in the city is like, well, I don't want to be like the Great Depression. I want it like it was when Rudy was mayor. I want to make money. I want New York to thrive. No, we can't have that.
The pandemic, grocery prices have gone up, and they haven't come back down. Between 2013 and 2023, grocery prices increased in New York City by nearly 66%, significantly higher than the national average. During our campaign, we promised New Yorkers that we would create a network of city-owned grocery stores, one in each borough. And we are here today to celebrate the site of the Manhattan store, La Marqueta, which will be open by 2029.
Wait. What? You see how you slipped that in there? Did y'all notice what he just said? Everybody was told that you're supposed to open this store that you're spending $30 million on. That you had this great La Marqueta for $30 million, but you're supposed to open it up in a year. Well, let me just rewind it in case you guys missed that, because that was some breaking news right there. Some breaking news from Zorhan Mamdani. It's amazing.
Breaking news into the Fanfare news feed.
Grocery stores, one in each borough. And we are here today to celebrate the site of the Manhattan store, La Marqueta, which will be open by 2029.
Nobody behind him heard him slip that in? So you're going to spend $30 million and 3 years to open one store. Say a prayer for New York. Say a prayer for New York. He slid that in while nobody noticed because all the news releases said he's going to open it up this year, and he just changed it 2029. So that's breaking news. $30 million on land they already own, and it's going to take 3 years while these people are still eating croquettes and stuff. Wow. New Yorkers, get out. Get out.
Now, here's how it works. The city will subsidize a core set of staples. A private operator will run the store, but they answer to the standards that the city will set. These standards include requirements that at our stores, bread will be cheaper, eggs will be cheaper, grocery shopping will no longer be an unsolvable equation.
Where do you think you're going to get that bread and stuff cheaper? I know where. It'll be like day-old bread and stuff like they send to prisons. You know, the stuff they got to take off the shelves at the regular store. Oh, the born-on data says it was due like last week. Let's send it to Mamdani store. He'll use it. How are you? And I loved how he said, and he slid that in there. It's going to be a private operator. Oh, what's the contract that this private operator is going to get? And who does he happen? You know, what's the name? Is it Fred Mamdani? Are you going to have a private operator who's going to be running these stores? Oh, is that where the 30 million is going?
And workers will be treated with dignity. 65,000 New Yorkers live within a 10-minute walk of La Marqueta. 5,000 NYCHA residents live on either side of Park Avenue. And nearly 40%.
I'm pretty sure the people in Park Avenue are not going anywhere near La Marqueta. That ain't going to happen. 65,000 people live in the proximity of where you're opening up this store. I bet you tell you like 50,000 of them don't want no parts of that neighborhood.
Percent of East Harlem residents receive public assistance or SNAP benefits in the last year. And we know those are the very kinds of federal programs that are under attack in this very moment. Now, at its peak, La Marqueta served 25,000 customers per day.
At its peak during the Great Depression, La Marqueta served 25,000 people. Why? Because 25,000 people were broke. 25,000 people had lost their life savings, the Great Depression. What's New York's excuse? What's the problem with New York? Why do you need this? You are in the biggest city in the country. It's got to have like its own ecosystem. Having lived there, and not lived there, but visited very often, I used to go to clubs, I used to go to restaurants, stay in hotels. Why are there so many people broke in New York? Oh, Barry, that's because they can't afford it. Okay, why aren't they working? Why are they not doing? Why don't you create jobs? Build something. I have no idea, but this is insane, and he's comparing it to the Great Depression.
To make a similar impact here in this very neighborhood, continuing Fiorello LaGuardia's legacy. This is what we mean by a new era. When New Yorkers are being priced out of their groceries, government will step in and deliver affordability. Now, with that being said, I'm going to...
Okay, let me just show you a little bit of contrast again. President Trump is talking about the golden era and talking about prosperity and opportunity. And this guy's talking about the Great Depression. It's depressing even listening to him. It's depressing that these people are all standing there and must be as completely mindless as he is. I don't even care if they're communists. Do they not understand that he just said, we're going to use LaGuardia's model from the Great Depression, and government will figure it out for you. Instead of saying, let me find a way to put these people to work. Let me find a way. Maybe they should be shoveling the snow when it was snowing. Maybe they should be picking up trash. Maybe they should be cutting grass. Anything to get them off of self. They don't have any self-dependence, of government dependence. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. I just find it to be insulting and disgusting. $30 million for one store on land they already own. They waived the rent, so there's no cost because they own the building. The taxes, they're not going to pay any taxes on it. And it's still going to take 3 years. 3 years. Because the moral of the story is government can't do crap. That's the moral of the story. Government doesn't do efficiency whatsoever. All it does is bureaucracy. All it does is create stress in a community and then tell you, I want your money because I want to create more of that insanity. It does environmental impact studies. It does minority set-asides. It does living wage nonsense. And then they bring in enough consultants to fill Yankee Stadium to tell them why they need to be begging for more money. Everything that a government touches costs double and takes triple the time. President Trump keeps telling you about the ballroom. I got it done for this, down a dime of government money, and we're going to get it done on schedule, blah, 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 boom. He talks about, what's his face, Jerome Powell. He spent like $1 gazillion. I could have got it done in 24 months and we'd have had a brand new building. Government is not private business. And most of the people running government have never even so much as driven a school bus. So how is this guy thinking that it's going to be okay to compare something to the Great Depression? The people hearing that should have been depressed. And who exactly is this miracle of La Maqueta supposed to help? I mean, he says it's for the, hard-scrabble New Yorkers who are reeling from food sticker shock. How about making these people not be shocked by the price of food? How about teaching them to be self-sufficient? You guys know I love America. I love Americans. I don't care where you live. But if you look at this math and what he's trying to do, East Harlem, that neighborhood, a couple 100,000 people tops. 40% of them are already on SNAP. 40% are taking food stamps. And they probably have other benefits as well. So we're spending $30 million of your money to build a store that might serve a few blocks of people who can walk. That was the other thing he said. It's within walking distance. I don't know about you. I don't walk to the grocery store. Ever. Why? Because I'd have groceries. And I'm not carrying groceries blocks and blocks and blocks. That's why they have parking lots. That's why they have parking lots full of cars so people can take their groceries and put it in the car and drive it home. Or at least they can call Instacart. But you're telling me this is going to work and New Yorkers are going to pay for the taxes of walking blocks and blocks with groceries that are probably stale. Yet you've seen throughout today's show how people are prospering. And you saw that one lady, I'm getting a new roof, I'm getting a new kitchen, I'm getting a new sink. You saw the DoorDash lady, which they're making fun of. I got $11,000. And the Democrats want to open up La Maqueta. Now you can take that and shove it where the sun don't shine. I'm not going to La Maqueta. I'm going to go to Publix, or I'm going to call them and tell them to bring the stuff over. These people are ridiculous. And the contrast can't be clearer. And as we're moving into the midterms, this is the kind of stuff you have to literally call out. You literally have to say, why are we catering to this level of people? And it's not like you're doing, some sort of job training. Hey, let me show you how to be a carpenter. Let me show you how to be a plumber. Let me show you how to be a pipe fitter. Oh, cross town, they're having a ribbon cutting because they're going to be laying pipe for gas. Maybe every one of you on 40% of you on food stamps can go over and get a pipe fitting job. That way you won't ever, ever, ever have to shop at La Maqueta.